Alrighty, good morning, evening, afternoon, and today I'm running Japan's A train, one of Kyushu's many luxury limited express trains running on local lines. We're going to be riding it start to finish, taking a look at its lovely interior and also the view outside, which is supposed to look like the Adriatic Sea. But we're also going to be talking about how it's actually keeping one of Japan's many struggling local lines alive. Alright, so right now I'm outside of Kumamoto Station. I've just arrived by the Shinkansen, and while the station doesn't look like a lot from the outside, from the inside it's actually very nice. I think they've modelled it after the castle, which is what Kumamoto is probably most famous for, but that's not where we're going today. We're actually going completely the opposite direction on the Misumi line, I believe it's called. And as I probably said in the introduction and everything, we're going to be riding the A train, which is one of Kyushu's many kind of, I believe they're called DNS trains, design and something trains. I'm sure I'll put it down here what it actually means, but basically they've been designed by people to basically look very fancy and lovely, and they're supposed to be a really cool experience, so we're going to be hopping on one of those today. And I will also say Kumamoto's left a really good impression, because as soon as I walked out there's a dinosaur scaring kids over there, and then there's a few trams right in front of me actually, which look very lovely and cool, although one almost did run me over as I was filming. It's probably more my fault though than the tram. Oh my goodness me, buddy. So much for me trying to do nice B-roll. But anyways, what I need to do is get my tickets. I reserved them online, and then we'll head on the train. Just get the tram again. I will say Kumamoto's giving me really good vibes. I've only been here for like 5 minutes, and already it's kind of given me a few smiles on my face, which is very good. That's what you want a city to give you, I suppose. So the train I'm taking is, as you can see over there, the 1306. A train. Let's go with the A train. It's called something like that, and it's at 1306, so we're a bit early, so I'm just going to chill and then meet the train at the platform when it arrives. And as you can see, you cannot use IC cards, so be careful. Ta-da! So we're on platform 5. The train might even be here already. That'd be very nice if it was. Oh yes, and it's here. Oh, and there's another train. That's cool. But you're not the one I'm interested in. I mean, I'm interested in that one over there, the A train, with its very stylish outerior. Yes, so let's go with outerior design. Although it's really the interior which is the most impressive. And as you know, it's playing jazz music. I have no idea if this is going to be copyrighted. It may be copyrighted because this is one thing as well. It's famous for playing jazz music on board. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle the music. I'm probably just going to dub it with my own music, because I do not want to get copyright striked. But yeah, isn't this cool? So I believe it's a 2-car setup, and yeah, you can see there's a bunch of like stained glass as well. I'll explain why. It's not just because it looks pretty. There is an actual kind of reason, you know, for like, you know, doing this in this area, but I'll explain that a bit later. So if you're wondering how to book it, you can pretty much do it on any online reservation. Just make sure it has the kind of like A train let's go. I'll put a screenshot to show you, but basically that's how you reserve it. And I believe all of it is a reserved seating, so you can't just kind of pop in. And you have two kinds of trains. You have two kinds of seats. One's which you see here, and then one in the other carriage is kind of more normal. I think we're going for the more normal ones. Oh, and if you're wondering, there's also a Shinkansen leaving over there. So that's the more interesting carriage, but we'll go there later. Oh, and look at this. This is, by the way, this is just the basic one, by the way. This isn't even the nice one, but it looks very pretty indeed. And this is the seat I believe we'll be calling home for about an hour's journey. So basically this train goes all the way from Kumamoto down to Misumi, which is kind of a coastal, it used to be its own town, but now it's been absorbed into a big city. But yeah, it'll take around 1 hour. Wow, look at that. So you can also buy alcohol and stuff in the bar. I'm not going to be drinking alcohol because I've got to cycle back home when I do go home. But yeah, if you want a bit of that kind of luxury, you can also do that. あ、はい。熊本みかんストレートと、
これでいいですかね。
あ、はい、そうです。と、塩チョコレート。
塩チョコレートかしこまりました。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
You know, I think I'm going to enjoy my chocolate and orange juice at the counter. これ多分子供そうかなと思ったら多分無理かなYeah, okay, that's not happening. I didn't assess the seat size properly. It's fine, I'll just have it here. Arguably the most famous stretch of the Misumi line is the section that runs along the coast of the Ariake Sea, boxed in by the northern prefectures of Kyushu. Taking this into consideration, the A train graciously slows down for this portion so that riders can take in the amazing view. From here we can also see Mount Unzen, an active volcano in Nagasaki Prefecture that was the cause of the deadliest volcano-related disaster in Japan a few hundred years ago. A more recent eruption was also the source of this famous clip, which I'm sure you've seen perhaps in the past before. It's a place I'd love to visit sometime, but for now we sink back inland and stop at what's probably the Misumi Line's most picturesque station. So here we're at Oda Station, and I believe we're stopping here for around 20 minutes or so, just to kind of you're able to look around and stuff. And this is supposed to be a really beautiful station. I actually didn't know it stopped here, so I'm really glad it is actually. Also, the weather's really nice. It's around like 20 degrees, which is perfect. And there is still some life in the cherry blossoms you can see here. And if they're not still on the trees, they're at least coating the ground in beautiful petals. Anyways, let's cross the thing. Yeah, the thing, that's what it's called, the thing. That's the train there. What on earth is wrong with this? Sorry, this gimbal is just like giving up. Oh, for goodness sake. But anyways, there is the beautiful A train. Oh my god. Sorry, my gimbal is just really acting up, so we're just gonna have to go into Oda Station manually, or rather me holding it, and yeah, very beautiful station. So there was going to be a kind of regular train coming the other way, but apparently it's late, and if I stay here to record it, that train will be gone with my wallet and all my belongings, so I'd rather not have that, so I'm just going to go back in and wait, pretty much. Earlier I mentioned how this special service is helping keep this local line alive. Now that's not to say it's at risk of imminent closure, at least I've not seen anything suggesting that, but it is true that ridership is low. Daily ridership for the final stop at Misumi was only 338 passengers in 2024, and daily ridership on the line sits constantly below 2,000. While the A train's helping make up some of that deficit by attracting tourism, I think across Japan there's a wider discussion on just how much tourism can actually help keep a line open, especially if the locals aren't actually using it. So we're approaching the final kind of 5 minutes or so of our journey, and I'd say kind of overall impressions, it's been really fun. You know, if you're in Kumamoto and you like trains or you just like beautiful scenery, I'd definitely recommend popping in. It's not that expensive as well. It's not, I know it's called it like a special high class limited express train, but it cost me I think around like 2,500, 3,000 yen or so for the whole trip. Obviously just one way, but obviously on the way back you can just use a regular train. So one thing obviously I mentioned as well in the beginning is how it's kind of helping keep this local line alive. Now this doesn't mean that the line's kind of at risk of closure. As far as I know, it's going to continue, it's going to survive, but you know, these kinds of lines are kind of struggling. And in this case, this line was often used to go to Amakusa, which is very famous for its churches. It used to have quite strong, you know, Catholicism. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but it used to have a lot of Catholics living there until, I assume, a lot of the persecutions began. Yeah, this line used to be used to often go to there, but with, you know, cars and other means of transportation, it kind of lost its usage a little bit. But as far as I know, it's still going to continue, still going to survive. It's not at risk of going away anytime soon. But kind of promotional little cars and trains like this definitely are there. Alrighty, and that's where I'm going to end today's video. I hope you've enjoyed this little romp through a kind of a little known corner of Kyushu and certainly Japan. I've certainly enjoyed it. I hope you have as well, and maybe are tempted to pop down yourself. But yeah, for now, stay safe and have a good one.